Welcome back, everyone. It's Jaws Munch here, and today, with a new season, we also will be talking about this new map that was recently created called Project SD. It's a brand new map. I had a chance to play it once or twice so far, and I absolutely love this map. You may notice it's a little bit unique in the fact that it's a donut floating in space, which is quite hilarious and cool in and of itself, but there's something quite interesting about this map that we need to mention. Look at these islands. There are pieces or metal positions on these islands across the center of the map, and these are not available to anyone except air players, which means that this map is now even like they've created a way to make air skirmish over resources, which is absolutely entertaining in my opinion. There's also a couple metal positions on the corners of the map as well, and those are also only going to be gotten by air as well. So that means that on this map in particular, it's designed for an 8v8, and you could likely see like 2 to 3 people going air at any given time, just because there's so much ground to cover, so much metal potential in the air alone. You can see there's multiple starting positions. Generally, what I have seen is, as a standard, is usually someone will start on these 2 corners, and then or I think it's probably closer to here, will be a starting location for 2 people, and then you'll have your air player and like a tech player, and then another player back here. I think that's right. 2, 4, 6, 7. Probably one more here. Anyway, something like that. You'll have about 8 positions there, and you could possibly put someone here, and then have them push forward, or possibly do a second air position there. The starting positions honestly are pretty mobile in the fact that they all have the same type of resources at their disposal, no matter where you start. So you would start off with a couple crystals here, and then a 3.2 mechs, and then a 1.7, 1.7. And that is uniform across the map, 3.2s, and 1.7s at all the starting locations, and all of the potential starting locations. And then across the map, any expansion you do on the islands are all a 1.7. And then I think that's, 3.2s for the land mexes up here. So there's a lot more metal available to the land forces, but the air does have a lot available as well. And then across the whole map, there's a decent amount of energy available as well, just in the crystals. You can see a total of 185,000 energy is available in the crystals, and then around 9,000 metal. So energy stalling won't be quite as severe on this map because you have a lot of reclaim available. A lot of energy is there able to be reclaimed. Another thing to note is this map has absolutely no wind, as it is a space map, or moon map as they are often called. So you won't be able to build with anything except solar panels. And that's good, because this map has extremely dense metal across it. Usually you find with moon maps, they usually have higher amounts of metal at your disposal, and that is not definitely the same for this map as with most of your other moon maps. Anyway, strategies with this map, as the air player, if you happen to be one of the air players on your team, definitely try to get a little bit of anti-air in this area. If you can get anti-air in these islands, it becomes exceptionally difficult for your opponent to get these metal positions built, and you can control more of this metal income without having to worry about harassment from the air. So that's a high priority. And then also, this is something I missed last game, is definitely go for these islands and make sure that these are built, because this is just a little bit more to add to your metal. And so if you didn't get those built, then you're wasting opportunity for your whole team for metal income. On the ground, I would honestly recommend going for a bit more artillery style weaponry, just because you're on a donut, so the space you have is much smaller. The defenses you are going to be building are going to be tighter, and so artillery is going to have a lot more opportunity to do splash damage and create damage across larger groups of forces. As people, like, you're going to have probably 2 or 3 people all pushing down this lane trying to get through, and so that artillery is going to create a little bit more of an advantage for you. And then also, do not be afraid in the middle of the game as a ground player to transition to air. Air is always an exceptional ender on any map, but this map especially. You can get to T3 and these zones will become pretty deadlocked, where it's just a back and forth of T3s pushing at each other, when maybe all you really need is a decent bombing run to like come in and hit the back line and blow up some economy. I mean, it's gonna be significantly easier to actually push in and attack with air than it is with ground forces. So it's something to be aware of and think about. And another tip for the air players is look for the potential flanking. Because the map is so wide, it reaches quite far. It feels much more wide and kind of like squished compared to other maps. So look for opportunities to flank as the air player and try to bomb. So people's economies will be like right here, which isn't that far from the halfway point. So you could position your bombers here, and that's a pretty fast position to get to. You should easily be able to pull off a bombing run without being caught by the enemy air player. And furthermore, it is very hard to defend because of how wide it is. So if you put your units on patrol, they're going to be going across a very large space in order to patrol. And this means that the fighter wall is going to be much thinner than on a map like Glitters or even Supreme. So, well, it might be kind of even on Supreme, equally thin on Supreme. But just be aware of that. Use flanking to your advantage and try to outmaneuver your opponent when it comes to air plays. All right, so those are just a couple tips. This isn't like a massive video or anything. I just wanted to give you some of my thoughts on this map. I think it's an excellent map. I would love to see more maps following this style of gameplay, where you have a good amount of land forces and air forces, and the air forces have to act more actively to gain resources and actually have to go in and do dogfights more consistently. I feel like this map really pushes for an active air force, an active air dogfighting each other to gain resources. So that's excellent to see. Whoever came up with the map design, kudos to you. Very good job. Let me know if you've had a chance to play this map yet, what your experience has been on it, and whether or not you enjoy it, and maybe some strategies. Just let me know in the comments what you guys think. I love to get feedback from you guys and hear your opinions on the subject at hand. And if you like videos like this, where it's kind of an update or an informational guide, please subscribe. It helps out a ton. And also be sure to like the video, as that helps out the YouTube algorithm and feeds the beast for the whole operation here. Really appreciate it, and we will see you guys on the battlefield.